Okay, so the next question is from Rubens Pierre. And he has a very good question. He says, "Hey, Dr. Boyce, should black people follow Dave Ramsey's advice on wealth building? For example, getting out of debt completely, investing in mutual funds, and paying everything with cash to the point that you do not have a credit score." Well, I'm going to tell you, I don't agree with Dave Ramsey on debt. It doesn't mean that Dave Ramsey's not a smart guy. I think that what Dave Ramsey does is he gives financial advice that basically says that because many of us have trouble disciplining ourselves, we should create circumstances. I'm turning this mic down a little bit. We should create circumstances that create discipline for us. So it's almost like me saying, because you are obese and you eat too much sugar, I want you to have a household with no sugar at all. And that's fine for someone who needs to be kept away from all sugar and has no good use for it. But it may not be beneficial for somebody who might use a sweetener in moderation. But maybe sugar isn't the best analogy because debt isn't quite like sugar. Debt might be like medication, right? Or fire. There you go, fire. Let's say somebody keeps burning the house down. And, well, you might say, look, I'm going to put you in a fireproof house because I don't need you burning stuff down. But fire can be useful, right? Fire can cook your food and keep you warm. Just like, a drug can help make you healthy, but if somebody abuses drugs, then you may say you need to live a totally drug-free lifestyle. But what if they get sick? Then drugs might help them. Or with the fire analogy, what if somebody wants to cook some food or they're cold? Starting a fire might be beneficial at that point if they don't have, a heating system. So the analogy here, to go full circle, is that debt is something that should be used to make more money for you. That's how wealthy people use debt. That's how, self-made millionaires use debt. And so if you feel that that debt has gotten out of control, then you may need to have a debt-free lifestyle to get yourself back in moderation. But if you could be disciplined about it, then a little bit of debt can be okay. Sometimes paying off all your debt can be bad for you. Or not wanting any debt can be bad for you. So, for example, let's say that I can go and start a business by borrowing $10,000, and that business is going to make me $100K in the next 2 years. I'd be a fool not to go get some debt to get started. I mean, some people will say, well, I'm going to wait until I can pay for it myself so I don't have any debt. Yeah, but you're going to really be delaying your progress big time, and you're probably going to miss out on some opportunities. That window of opportunity may shut before you raise the $10,000 that you need. Or I knew somebody who was talking about going to school to be a doctor, and she was talking about going back to school, and she was working a minimum wage job. And she said, well, I don't want to go back to school until I pay off my debt. And I did the math, and I said to myself, I said, she ain't never going back to school because it's going to take her 3 years to pay off that $10,000. 3 years that she'll never get back. So I don't think that a no debt policy is best for anybody who's really trying to build wealth. But I think that consumer debt, bad debt, is always unhealthy for the most part. I mean, if you can avoid the credit card debt, debt for new clothes, debt for restaurants, debt for things that you don't need, then absolutely. Debt for new cars, kick that out of your process. But debt for a home, debt for a business, maybe debt to go to school, as long as it's reasonable, can be fine. Now, what's not reasonable as far as school debt is, to borrow $100 and something thousand to get a 4-year degree, especially when a lot of these kids ain't even getting jobs when they get done. That's when good debt becomes bad debt. Let's see here. He's also asking about mutual funds. I think mutual funds are fine. I think it's a great investment vehicle. I'm big on investing in moderation, at least $100 a month every month for the next 30, 40 years. Your children will be set. Your children will have $250,000 or more in the bank. Paying everything in cash. I think paying for a lot of things in cash is a good move. I don't believe in going in debt to build a credit score. I think you should build it more organically than that. But, paying in cash is good. Then that way you don't have to worry about paying anybody back. So I hope that answers your question.